In our series of videos on DPOs, we have been talking about the roles of DPOs under various regulations. We have already spoken about the Indian law as well as on the European GDPR. In this video, we are going to talk about DPO under CCPA. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you have been watching daily new content on data privacy. And as I mentioned, we'll talk about the role of DPO today. So as far as CCPA is concerned, this is a regulation for California. The initial one was California Consumer Privacy Act, which was enacted in 2018, which was more focused on the right for users to know what information is collected and they can choose to get it deleted or opt out for sale of information. Now, one thing that is important to understand is that the Californian law is more towards the protection of the user's rights and giving them the option to opt out of their data processing. They don't need a consent to start data processing, right? So if you see your data being processed by someone, you can go and opt out for processing data and opt out for allowing them to sell or share your data further. So the Consumer Privacy Act was launched in 2018 and a matured version, Californian Privacy Rights Act, was further formed in November 2020. This was introduced more as consumer rights and helped them define the sensitive personal information, the definition of the word sensitive personal information, which was like the more crucial and very personalized information like your health records, like your banking and financial transactions, and like your biometrics, etc. Right? And then the regulatory authority in California is CPPA, the California Privacy Protection Agency. So all the organizations are required to report into California Privacy Protection Agency. That's the basic of the history of the regulations in California. The role of a DPO in California, officially there is nothing called DPO in CCPA. The role is called Chief Privacy Officer when it comes to Californian's law, and he is accountable or answerable to CPRA, the California Privacy Rights Act of November 20 that we saw in the previous slide. Any non-compliance with CPRA attracts very substantial penalties, and as I mentioned earlier, the focus is more on the consumer rights and the civil penalties are more in case there is a non-compliance. So California's focus is more on the rights of an individual user. Consent is not required, opt-out is very much available, and any citizen can go ahead and opt out for processing as and when he wants to. From a CPO point of view, the Chief Privacy Officer point of view, it's an independent post. However, no specific stress is given on the independence of the post, but it is an independent post still, and the reporting is to the senior management. It is expected that they would fully support the functions of a DPO and the of a CPO and the functions of the compliance with respect to privacy. It is integrated with other compliance functions in the sense that other compliances like financial compliances, like other legal compliances. So the privacy compliance or the CPO's job is integrated with them. He should have some understanding of security functions and should be able to coordinate with other departments within the organization, especially a department like human resources. Remember, you process personal information of your employees also, and they turn out to be your critical data subjects, right? So your coordination with HR is also very critical, and the law is bound, the CPO is bound by secrecy and confidentiality and work with other people without any conflict of interest, right? He should not be biased to anyone. As far as his qualification and experience is concerned, again, a significant experience in terms of US and Californian privacy law, should have done some work in data protection and privacy management prior to becoming a CPO, should have been involved in performing risk assessment and risk management, proficiency in privacy and data governance, and should have the ability to train and communicate on privacy. In all our videos, we have been talking about this, right? It's a CPO's job, or in other contexts, it's a DPO's job, and in the common context, it's the governance officer. In terms of privacy, it's his job to communicate privacy and privacy rights and everything to the entire organization, starting from the top management, stakeholders, to the last level of the employee if he is processing any personal information. He should know what is the organization obligation towards that personal information. So the most important criteria that I feel for a CPO or a DPO is that he should be able to communicate it properly with the entire organization. The core responsibilities include ensuring compliance with CPRA, conducting privacy risk assessments, developing and managing privacy policies and practices. He should be able to liaison with the authorities, that is CPPA. So the key functions are the standard functions like that of a DPO's job, and with respect of performing risk and management assessments and developing and managing privacy policies, and of course liaising with the regulatory authorities. The focus, as I mentioned earlier, in California is more on the user rights, and the 4 key rights that we talk of when we talk of user rights in California: the right to know what information you have, the right to get that information deleted and corrected if I want to, the right to opt out from sale or share of my personal information, and the right to limit the use of my sensitive personal information. So these are the 4 key rights that CCPA gives to a user, and it is CPO's job to ensure that a user's 4 key rights are taken care of. Right to know what information you have, right to delete that information or get it corrected if I feel it is wrong, the right to opt out of sale and sharing of my personal information, and right to limit the use of sensitive information. So that's the role of a CPO, Chief Privacy Officer, when it comes to the Californian law. I hope you like my content. Please press the like icon and the bell icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share it with your friends who want to learn about data privacy all around the world, and share your feedbacks in the comment section. Thank you.